Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another impressive episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, especially on Tuesday, which is today, he asks for a chief burrito because he's made of chicken and beef. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. Our special guest tonight is a young lady who is very impressive, hella impressive. Not only is she a weightlifter, yes, she could definitely outbench me, but she could probably outbench some of you dudes out there that go to the gym 24/7. But she is also a woman that is making a name for herself in promotions such as BCW, which is Bree Combination Wrestling, and our good friends at Capital Championship Wrestling. And she has also faced world class opponents such as Athena and Hikaru Shida. Everybody, welcome to the show, the Courageous One, Christina Marie.
Oh, like you see the
Woo!
sky. What's up, everyone?
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Christina, I gotta say, it's an honor to have you on here. You've been on our radar for a hot minute, and then boom, now finally you're here. You know, I gotta say, man, you are very impressive in that ring. You know, like I'm counting down the days until I actually see Christina Marie is all elites or Christina Marie, and you got the property of the. They really got to get rid of that because it makes it seem like they own you. Like I don't know, but you're now a member of WWE, or Christina Marie is now a part of Impact Wrestling. I'm counting down the days until I see that. I know it's gonna happen, and when it happens, I'll be screaming at the top of my lungs when it does.
Yeah, man, I'm hoping soon. You never know. There could be secrets, you know what I mean? So you never know what platform I might show up at.
Yeah, definitely. For those of y'all that don't know, this woman is very impressive. If you are not following her, make sure you follow her right now. And I saw your matches against Ultraviolet at CCW. I didn't see the latest one because unfortunately I wasn't there. But whenever Legacy comes out on Title Match Network, I will definitely be tuning in and watching that. But I've seen your, last two matches you had against Ultraviolet, and man, you were throwing that girl around like a rag doll. When I saw you hit her with those suplexes, it reminded me of like when China made her debut and she had Marlene in that little hold or whatever, but she didn't German suplex her. She just had her. She was like bear hugging her and twisting her like she was a rag doll. That's what that reminded me of.
Well, Ultraviolet wasn't heavy or anything, She's pretty much, she's like 100 and like maybe 20 pounds, if I had to guess. Well, it felt like that.
But
Um, yeah, no, those had to be like one of my highlight matches this year. I would definitely say is with her. Um, what can I say?
But yeah, it's been a hell of a year for you because you've not only have you had that match, which in my opinion I've enjoyed watching, but you've also had matches against Athena. You've also had matches against a match against Hikaru Shida, and we're gonna get into that. But of course, I always do this, and I'm sorry if you've answered this before, but someday we always do. How did it start for you? How did you become a fan of professional wrestling and started tuning in every week and so on?
Actually, I wasn't a fan growing up. Um, a lot of people know that, but I'm okay with, saying it again. I actually wasn't a fan of wrestling growing up. I actually was more into straight combat fighting and, you know, that type of thing, like always growing up. And up until I was about like 19, I found wrestling to be interesting, like creative. And then I seen more past than just it being a story or a character. It's more takes a lot more than that. and I know from being a wrestler now. But I started actually getting into wrestling like when I was about 20, right before my mom passed away. I started finding professional wrestling something that I wanted to do, especially when I took my first bump in the ring. So I'd say about when I was 20, that's when I started actually finding wrestling being something that I've always dreamed of.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, by the way. Sorry.
It's all right. It's
Sorry.
it's a part of actually my story. I'm very proud to speak about it. I'm not obviously not proud of that, but she is who I am today. So I'm very, very happy to speak about my strengths and my background.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
appreciate it though.
Yeah. So, who are some of your favorites that, well, that actually inspired you to get into wrestling?
Triple H, The
Okay.
Undertaker, China, especially those guys. Those are the highlights that you would see on television when you were a kid. Um, Definitely them, Lita, you know, Hulk Hogan and all that stuff. It's just, growing up seeing the old school stuff. I remember seeing the old school stuff, before I actually got into it and seeing like the Attitude Era age and, like the more sexual age for women to be like into wrestling as a valet and stuff. So, but I'd say those guys are still MVPs.
Yeah. Um, Definitely. But man, that was a time to definitely be into wrestling. Like when Kane and Triple H were there. To me, like I always said, Triple H has one of the best ring psychologies, or had, because he's now actually retired. But he had one of the best ring psychologies um, in the last, like, well, I guess you could say, I guess for the last like 10 years, 20 years. Um, but yeah, that was definitely a great time to actually be a wrestling fan. So how'd you end up like getting into like training school and so on? Like what led you there?
I found out there was an actual school in Albany that was just starting up, called Extreme Wrestling Alliance, and it was like down the street, about like 5 minute drive from my powerlifting gym, Albany Strength at that time, and I heard about it. A friend of mine at the time that I was training with for a little bit, just hitting the gym with, Rick Recon, he found out about it. So, and me and him always wanted to, you know, train to be a professional wrestler, find something, and it was very hard because in Albany, it's you would have to travel almost out of like 2 hours just to find a school nearby just to train. And with your daily lives, like think about it, like yeah, work at 5 and drive 2 hours. That's like crazy. But we found out there was a school in Albany. I told him, hey, go check it out, see how it is. He did. He came back, he told me, and then I went to check it out and I fell in love with it ever since. So but it was I'm very grateful to be able to have that school in Albany. They're still actively training people now, at a different location but nearby. Jerry Idle runs the school, and right now Shockwave is one of the trainers, and so is this other. He goes by a whole bunch of different gimmicks, but his name's Scott. But he goes by Vince Beach that trains people there. But I that's how I found out about even wrestling, is that like I went to powerlifting school, like my powerlifting gym, excuse me, and then I found out about the school and I checked it out, and then boom, I was grateful to have that nearby, um as far as a school.
Yeah, I just gotta say, the whole thing with the powerlifting, I've seen your record. I've seen that you've actually been able to.
That was a good catch.
It's okay. Trust me. It's fine. One day I'll probably end up doing a back when I'm doing one of these shows one day. But yeah, the fact that you actually powerlifting, you do this, I was like, man, I would like to see her and Jordan Grace get it, or her and Rachel Ellering get it on the ring. That'd be a match of power. And then lo and behold, it's already happened. I was like, man, I wish I was there, man, because that would have been I know y'all tore the house down, you know, um, you and Jordan Grace and you and Rachel Ellering and even you and Tessa Blanchard. Y'all
Hmm.
have those matches. I know they were legendary. I definitely I'm gonna try to check them out real soon.
Yeah, no, those were one of my favorite matches. Tessa, I wrestled her back at PPW, almost like 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a while. I'd love to be able to share a ring with her again and go at it.
Yeah,
Book
that's
it. No.
hey, who knows? Maybe maybe it'll happen very soon. So all the hard work has actually paid off, and you've actually been on AEW like a few times. What was that experience like? Were you like, oh geez, I'm wrestling on national TV in front of like the whole, let's just say the whole world, because everybody sees AEW now. Were you like
Hmm.
nervous, or were you like, something? I got this. I got some of the best training, from some of the best trainers in wrestling. I'm gonna be all right. Or was it a mixture of both? Because I mean, you weren't just wrestling anybody. It was Athena, and then you also wrestled Hikaru Shida. So what was that like for you?
It was it was it was everything that I was hoping it would be, but going back to asking if it was one or the other, it was both. Definitely was both. That's why we do this, is all for the feelings, the rush, the anxious, the excitement, the nervousness. It's adrenaline. We're like adrenaline junkies. Like we love it. For me, being that I was always scared to like perform in front of hundreds of people that a lot of people know, but now obviously I'm a professional wrestler. For me to go in front of the biggest crowd ever, I was thinking like, oh my God, like, but I just triggered who I really am when I walk out of that curtain. And I've overcame that in the last 4 years of my wrestling career, that it's a switch. If it's a bad person or if it's a good person, I can make a switch like this. And when I went to AEW and I had my opportunity to go out and then I walked out to the ring, it was all like, anxious nervousness. I'm experiencing it. But then once I stepped into the ring, I knew that it was game time for me to. And then I looked up and it all went away. It was like I was meant to be there. It was like everything. I give it my all. Like we're all perfectionists. I definitely am about myself. But I felt like I did the best that I could have done at every single match that I've had at AEW. And I can't be upset about my performance. And it's just every time I went out there, it's like it's it's everything I wanted it to be. It was anxious, nervous, excitement, but I thought I was gonna be like, oh shit, like shit my pants. Like, no, not really, but like but I just coming from like what I went through and what I've overcome, it was not what I was expecting. And it was everything that I would ever have hoped for. So, and I can't wait to get more opportunities and be able to showcase my moveset and my character and who I really am. So hopefully somebody passes me the ball soon so I can able to play, because I'm really good under pressure. Um, I've known that growing up, so I'm really great under pressure, even though I hate it.
So would it be safe to say that that's why you have the moniker the Courageous One, because no matter what's thrown at you, you pretty much swat it out of the way, or you pound it down and step over it, and you come out on top.
Absolutely, even though it absolutely drains me. Like if you could see how I look now, because I work a day job and I go through everything that I go through, pound, pound, pound. I feel like I'm getting pounded at every single angle, like my car. I don't want to talk about that. Everything else that goes on in my life, pound, pound, pound. But I just figure it out and I overcome it. Same with wrestling and who I'm wrestling and what I need to do or where I'm traveling and all that stuff. That's who I am. Get back up, get up, get the f up.
Oh yeah, and honestly speaking, that's pretty much a great way to go about life. You just keep getting back up, you keep going. I often tell people, and I tell people the same thing that my college professor once told me. You're not a loser if you fall down. Is if you fall down and you stay down, that you're a loser. If you get back up, you're not a loser. You're still in the game. You keep on going. So I tip my hat
Yeah.
off. I tip my hat off to you, and I gotta say, I'm really looking for. I'm probably gonna get some flack for this. I'm really looking forward to seeing you eventually holding that CCW world title. You know, hopefully, I could definitely see it right now. Courageous Christina Marie. You know, in the camouflage, holding up that title, that big one. I could definitely envision it.
Well,
Or
technically, since now shit's changed, she has two titles, right?
yeah,
So you never know. Whoever has two titles might just lose those two titles, you know?
I don't know, but that's going to be, man. Rob, I'm actually jealous of you, man. You get to see all this action. I'm over here in New York. I gotta wait. You know, I gotta wait a bit until it like comes on title match and whatnot. But you're a lucky man to be seeing all this action, man. But I could definitely see it happening. I could definitely see Christina Marie, new CCW champion. I could see it happening.
I already see it happening. You never know. It just might happen.
Only question is, I don't mean to sound awkward. Is Christina gonna do it? Is she gonna do it with the camouflage gear on, or is she gonna do it with the American flag gear on? Because honestly speaking, that gear right there, that American flag gear there, it looks iconic. Like there's certain people that when
I get a lot of compliments for that gear.
like Rey Mysterio, everybody remembers the question mark gear. That is an iconic one. Who else can I think of? Um, Rob, help me out here, man. I'm pretty sure I'm getting old. There's some that I can't remember, but like Booker T, the old school Harlem Heat gear. Everybody knows that one.
I know everybody says that gear, like they see me pop it on, they're like, it's just so creative. And it's crazy because actually I did not come up with that. My best friend Allie and my bestie Eric actually knew I was going through a struggle about a year ago, and they wanted to help me out and surprise me. So they messaged my gear person and sent them like the drawing and knew my like thing, and then sent it to me for Christmas. And
Wow.
it means a lot to me, that gear. Yeah.
You
So
want something? I also gotta, I also gotta like give you kudos for. You have your own theme song. Not a lot of like independent like people on the indies have their own theme song. For those of you that don't know, you can check out our Instagram story. You'll actually hear it yourself. But that's
you can look it up.
rare.
I love it. I actually love it. And my buddy John that made it and stuff like that. Actually, I'm gonna be probably messaging him soon about twisting some things up. But I love it so much. I don't want to do anything with it. It's custom. It's so different. Like you hear it. It's like it starts off like with the bells with like Breaking Benjamin, and then you think it's gonna hit like that, and it doesn't. And it just goes with everything that flows for me. Especially face and heel, with the flip, with the pose, everything else. So thank you.
Yeah, that's something that I feel a lot of like independent wrestlers should actually. I mean, I know I'm not in the business, but I'm just
Invest in. They should. I used to just have, you can't think about it. Like all the footage that you get, copyright, and then all of a sudden you just don't have music with your entrance. It's a bummer.
yeah, yeah. That's something that if I were a professional wrestler, I would want to have like my own like themes. That way, if somebody comes after me, I'm like, no, this is my original theme. Nuh-uh.
Hmm.
If anything, if you want to use it, you can use it, but you got to pay me some good money. But
Yeah,
yeah, this is mine. You're not gonna take it from me. Yeah.
it's
So
true.
normally I would ask around this time like your top five points you want to wrestle, but you've pretty much I've seen your record and I'm like, who else would she want to wrestle? Like Jocelyn Navarro, you had even Angel Orsini, JC Storm. I'm like, who else would I ask? Who else could I ask this woman who should want to wrestle? But the next I'll switch it up a bit and I'll ask, okay, so you've had a lot of like singles, and obviously I know your goal is to, get some title, get some titles and whatnot, get some more titles.
Hmm.
But with pretty much a lot of organizations like CCW, you have Shine, Shimmer, even WB and Impact, they have women's tag team titles. Who would you want to be your tag team partner to go after some tag team titles
Ali Rex.
with? Okay.
Yeah, that's my best friend. Like I would love to do it with her. If it wasn't with her, I've never really done many tags. So for someone to probably click and understand. And also, I can practically dead weight Allie up in the air and use her as, as a weapon. But I would definitely say Allie Rex. Like, just if I could actually do a tag team, it'd definitely be Allie Rex. Honestly, recently, just because the past weekend, I did a 6-man tag with Notorious Mimi and then Vicious Vicky, and like honestly, I really liked working with them. And honestly, like I thought that was a great random combination. Even though we've been friends, we fought each other. We've never been with each other on the same page. But like I would love to tag with them. I think that would be a great matchup between all of our gimmicks. So
Awesome. Okay, so I just got one last question before I turn over to Rob, and well, actually, I got two more, but the second to last one is, I've seen that you've actually wrestled mostly in the Northeast. You know, from New York to Pennsylvania to New Jersey, pretty much the Northeast area. Have you ever gotten a chance to wrestle like in the Midwest, like Texas, or even out in the West Coast?
no, actually, I haven't yet. I haven't been any further than Ohio, like as midwise, like Ohio. I haven't been past that. And actually, this upcoming year, I'm gonna be in Minnesota. I'm making my way over, and I'm really pumped about it because I should have already made my way over. That's a lack of me doing networking and like kind of like doing stuff. But again, it's so hard with like your personal life and then maintaining that. Like shit happens. But now it's 2023 is my year. And I mean that I'm full force. I'm turning 30 next year. Like, doesn't mean anything. I move like I'm 22. Like, but like at the same time, like this year, I want to try to hit all 50 states. Like, I want to try to hit the US. Like, and then actually, like, my goal is to go international. You know, I would love to go international, maybe like, um, being able to see other people experience international on like a Mexico level and then going to Canada, it's something I'm really excited to like to try to experience if that's possible. Puerto Rico, like I'm ready to hit that level.
Man, I could imagine if you go to Japan and come back, you're gonna be hitting people with them drop toe holds and all them. I'm like,
Oh, I would love to go to Japan.
so I could tell you firsthand. You know, I was in the Navy, of course. I keep saying this. People are probably getting tired of me here and saying, "Yes, Remy, we know." But I was in the Navy for 7 years, and my first duty station was actually Japan. I can tell you, it's everything they say it is. It is that awesome. The people there, for the most part, they're very courteous. And if you're into anime and stuff, definitely you will love Japan. It is awesome, and I hope you get that chance to experience that as well, because it's definitely a vibe, and it's one that you will never forget. Um, but one thing, even though you have not actually, traveled much outside of the Northeast, one thing you got to say is you haven't, you've pretty much been, making a name for yourself. I mean, you were in the Super 8 tournament 5 years ago, which, in my opinion, is one of the most what's a good word to one of the most recognizable tournaments in professional wrestling. And I always say that that's a tournament that, if you are a wrestling fan, you live in that area, you should definitely attend it because it has a lot of legacy behind it, a lot of history behind it. So
Absolutely does.
that's a great thing too. So my last question: whenever you're working out in the gym, getting ready to knock out some reps, or getting ready to face your opponent, what are some songs that get you into that mode to get business, done?
What's crazy I've been listening to is Judgment Day. I've been listening to that on repeat. I listen to a lot of it's miscellaneous. Honestly, I don't listen to a direct song. It's just it depends. I have it on a repeat, but it's between, Five Finger Death Punch. Um, I love Bad Wolves. Right now I'm changing it up recently. I haven't been replaying the same song, so I can't really even say that. But I love like all the hardcore songs that have a lot of relation to pain and memories that I have, especially when I'm weightlifting. Like lately, I've been combining powerlifting into what I'm doing, which I'm trying not to, but it's kind of hard when you're addicted to that stuff. But like, I'd say like miscellaneous shit, like just all that stuff. Like not one direct song, but I'd say definitely what I said the first time is you know, living the dreams, one of them. I'd say Breaking Benjamin. It's miscellaneous. Can't really think right now.
Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know how it is. Sometimes I'm that way whenever I'm doing this podcast, and Rob and Kathy, our other folks couldn't be. They got to snap me out like, "Hey, Remy, come on, we got a show to do, man." Like, I remember one time I was sleeping, and they're like, "Hey, you got to get up in 15 minutes, man. We got a show." I'm like, "Oh gosh, okay, show must go on." So I know
And
how you.
me, I'm like growing up. I always like I'm bad at remembering names of songs. I'm bad at remembering movies unless you show me a clip of it. But like when it comes down to other stuff, I can remember it like bop it, like twist it, turn it, hit it, smack it. Like it sucks because like you asked me a song and I'm like, oh my God, this is like trivia. This is like trivia, guys. It's like trivia. And I was like, pick a good song. I remember the one time I did a podcast when I first started off being a professional wrestler. This is a little funny. I told somebody I like Lord of the Rings, which I do, but it's not my favorite movie. But yeah, I'm a little nuts. We know that.
It's okay. Lord of the Rings is actually pretty cool. So I mean, it's trust me, I could definitely watch it over and over again. The action is great. I never got into the Hobbit. I fell asleep through like the last. I think the
Yeah,
Hobbit.
me neither.
The
Yeah.
Hobbit is like two parts. I fell asleep through most of like the second movie. Never saw the first one. Yeah, so it's all good. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has some questions for you. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet, thanks. So what's going on? How are you doing? How's everything going?
Doing great. How about you?
Well, that's good. Oh yeah, same. Doing. I'm well. I'm well. Excited for the podcast. I'm glad doing this interview. Having a blast. So everything's going well. Everything's going well. So I just had to make sure. Yeah, I do have to make sure everything's going well for you so far because my pop, he doesn't watch wrestling or anything, but he comes to 1CW, CCW shows and stuff. And I was talking to him. It was yesterday. I was talking to him. I was like, yeah. They're asking me if I want to go out to dinner with him and my mom. I was like, well, I got podcast tomorrow. So he's like, well, who do you got on? I was telling him. He's like, oh, I know who she is. He was like, you better mind your p. He's like, you better mind your p's and q's or something, because I don't want to come back. One day she puts you in a headlock and there you are. I was like, oh man, all right, man, I got you, Pop. I got you. I'm good. I'm good. I should be good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, all right, yeah, I got you. So how's your arm? I seen, you had a little thing happen to it, man. Oh, yeah. Woo, what happened? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Everything going good? Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, everything. That was a close one. I almost needed stitches. I didn't even know it happened. Ladies' night out when I was in North Carolina last weekend, not this prior weekend. Um, I came in for a splash to Kylan in the Fatal Five-Way match, and I was kind of off-centered because I was so fast. So gave it the splash, and the back of the turnbuckle, like they usually zip tie it or they tie it,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
corners are usually like sharp unless they're rounded.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
came around and went, and
Ooh.
because I was looking through the whole match, I was like, where did I cut my arm? We thought it was like the apron. Somebody thought it was. No, it was definitely the splash because Amber Nova had blood on her leg and her arm, and then
Mm.
it just placement of like what we did and stuff like that. So that's what happened. I didn't even know until I came in the back. I went to go lift up my elbow sleeve, and then she's Danny's like, you're bleeding, like, and I was like, and I looked down. I was like, no, because I knew it's gonna be such a scar, and I was like,
Oh.
no, and I'm like putting ointment on it. It hurts like right now. I'm trying so hard. I have to put more ointment on it, but it's gonna be with me forever. I know
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
It's
One of those battle scars. Woo.
it's right underneath like the the cusp of it, so it's like now I'm gonna have to get a tattoo or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you can, get a little tattoo or
Here
something
we
right
go,
there,
guys. I'm
something.
gonna start having a sleeve, so go ahead
Yeah,
and
there
throw
you go, there you
ideas.
go. That's good. So is it affecting you with doing your lifting or anything? Are you still able to do some stuff?
So I laid off on my arms this entire week. Besides, the sh right before I left this weekend. So I just did arms Friday after that happened prior Sunday. So it's been a week and a half now. But I just went to the gym earlier and just me moving and like grabbing things because it's starting to scab. And then I get pumped, especially with like everything that I do. It starts to like really itch because my skin's stretching. And right now
Okay, yeah.
I'm going through the healing process of not trying to pick it because it itches. But it's it sucks, dude.
I
Like
believe it. I
I
believe
keep talking about it. Like I keep looking at it. Like it's all right. But I just been wrapping it. Like if I wrestle, I don't want it to get staph infection, so I'm just gonna wrap it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, yes, I'll try. I'll try and think of something else. Get your mind off.
No, it's all right.
Your
It's
wound,
all.
off your wound. So yeah,
It's
I was going to ask. How did you get into powerlifting and stuff? Because see, like me, I never got into that whole physical fitness craze thing. But I did. But I do. I might need a couple tips because I do have like this one ab. It's kind of hiding up over here. So like summertime comes. I got my shirt off. I want to accentuate it when I'm at the beach or whatever. So maybe maybe a tip or two or something to help me out. But yeah, how'd you get into it?
um, it's crazy because like I started working out like just like any other normal person, and I found out about Albany Strength, and it's more of a powerlifting CrossFit gym. From my previous boss that worked at the shoe department. His name was Kent, and he used to live in Albany, but he used to work out there. So he was telling me about this gym, about checking it out, and that's how I met Rick Recon at that time because he was friends with him. So that's how that combined it between the time I met them in the gym, and then powerlifting was at that gym.
Hmm.
Wrestling and powerlifting came together at the same time. So I would say I went to that gym, and actually after about like maybe a couple months into my powerlifting training, I started exploring the wrestling school. But I actually dated a powerlifter that was from that gym at that time, and I ended up building my powerlifting career with him, and then I made friends with the group, and they're my gym family now. So I would say like everything happens to connect together. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Not like when I speak about it, like instead of being like, oh, the past is like the past. But that's how I ended up. I got introduced that from my old boss to that gym, the powerlifting. I seen people picking weights up and slamming them down. And at the time, like I was fighting my mom just passing away from brain cancer and stuff like that. So I had a lot of anger management, a lot of built up frustration. Um, didn't know how to handle it. So when I seen all that, I was like, and I can lift. I used to pick up like I grew up around men my entire life, so I used to pick things up. I used to cut wood. My brothers used to come home and practice wrestling moves on me, and like I was built tough.
That's
Like I
great.
was built tough. So like I was like, let me do this. Like, and I was 100 and like 25 pounds at that time. And I remember my first time I deadlifted, I did like 225. I benched maybe like 95 or 90 pounds, and like it's just like oh boom, and it was just like I was like addicted to it. Like what a rush. Like and then especially like looking over and seeing like somebody that like a normal guy trying to do something, and then you just be like, yeah, screw you. How about this? Ah, like,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
But
You got flex all them up in there. Show them what's up. What I mean?
for you to grow, you gotta eat. You gotta
Hmm.
lift. You gotta eat good. You know what I mean? Like, look at me. Like, I was actually really big at one point. Like, I look at my old pictures and I look at my old videos when I had red hair, and I actually was pretty. I was don't mess with me. Like, but like my gut, like my stomach was definitely powerlifting gut. And like it's not a gut, but like now I look at myself, I train the hardest that I do now to look TV ready, to look the best condition, as well as also my strength. Like I could still deadlift, not at 452 pounds. Like I haven't been there yet. You know what I mean? It's been a while since I did that. That's because I was training for that. Right
Hmm.
now I could still deadlift like shy of 365, 400 pounds for like one grinder if I wanted to, but I'm gonna be smart and not do that, especially when I throw people around on the weekends. So,
Oh yeah,
but I
yeah.
that's how I found powerlifting.
I was gonna ask. What are you lifting right now? Because I've seen some of your stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just watching you. I was like. my insides just blew right outside of me, and it's gonna look like I'm casing sausage around here. Everybody gonna make fun of me and stuff. I was like, oh my lord, so woo. So do you have any do you have any goals? Like say, are you trying to get over 450? One day maybe maybe hit that 500 lbs. Relocate that. Get up there, be like, watch out, I'm gonna relocate 500 lbs. Let's do this. Get
It's
that.
been a, it's been on my mind like lately, especially when I decide to deadlift and I go up to the bar and like pick up 300. Like people at the gym that don't know me, especially because I get a lot of college kids that don't know me. It's my home gym. They come over and they're like, "Yo, that's a shit ton of weight." I look at them, I go, "Who are you? Like,
Yeah.
are you new?" And they're like, and then the other guy comes over, he goes, "That's your warm up weight, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, but like, I don't know. My ultimate goal, like it sucks because like I want to make it in professional wrestling. I want to be on the top platforms. Like I want it. Like you know what I mean? For me to chase powerlifting at the same time, it's nearly impossible for me because the risk of injury goes from here, like a normal length of what you do, to maximizing it 10 times more because I herniated a disc in my back, which screwed my opportunity to go to Arnold in 2018 for my 380 squat for 132 pounds. I decided not to stop wrestling for a little bit so I can go to the Arnold and put that on my resume. No, I decided to try thinking I was she woman and like ultimately go through everything during that time frame, and I actually threw myself out of both sports. So like for me to do it now, like yeah, mentally it's great, like but I'm gonna risk hurt myself, like with the matches that I have, and like me picking up ultraviolet, like or picking up like let's say like I can pick up B, I can pick up like any guy. I can pick up 300-pound guy. Like I can legitimately pick 300-pound person up.
Hmm.
I hate when people say that I can't pick them up. Like it's just like it's stupid. Like it's just like it's not even like a joke. Pick you up.
I know. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I wish they would say that around my president. I'd be like, yeah, you better recognize. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't know who you talking about.
I can pick
Shoot,
you up.
But
shoot.
Christina, I don't mean to interrupt you, but doesn't that annoy you? Like, I'm not a gym rat, but there was one point where I used to go to the gym every day, and one of my things is like, if I'm doing cardio or weightlifting, do not talk to me. If you want to give me a dap after a workout saying, "Yo, good job," yes, but do not talk to me. I will get an attitude and probably give you the dirtiest look you've ever gotten. I don't know if that's you, but does that happen? Do you feel like that sometimes as well too?
Yeah, so like for instance, I have like 3 memberships. I go to my gym, I walk in, everyone knows not to really mess with me. Like besides the normal people, we give head nods as I'm walking in. I give head nods. You know what I mean? I set up at my platform. I do my own thing. They know not to come over or mess with me or talk to me. If I go to like a regular gym, I have to look even meaner because like I see people that like don't get to see me often or people that know me and stuff like that, and then they come up there like, I just seen this on this. I'm like looking at them. I'm like, do you think I have time to talk about this? Please don't do this right now. I don't want to be mean. And they're like, if I have the resting bitch face, and then everybody already kind of assumes that like I want to rip someone's head off. Like, Rob. Like Rob knows. Rob's like, she could rip. Like it's called the snap. Like boom. But I hate it. Like sometimes I do. Like especially if you could tell with body language from another gym member to another gym member. You could tell you're just trying to get in and get out. Especially like when you're in a rush. Like you know what I mean? You're gonna catch me a different time, talk to me a different time, and then you know what I mean, I'll engage. But like you could tell when people don't want to engage.
That's right. That's right. Hey, okay. So next time I see you, in the locker room or whatever, I won't be like, hey, how you doing? You
Well,
good?
that's the locker room. I mean, the
I'm
gym is
teasing you.
different.
I'm teasing you. I'm
You
teasing
know,
you.
I usually put my headphones on actually, like before I go out my matches, I put my headphones on and I hope like a lot of people don't take it as disrespect. It's like I try to channel a lot of my like inner thoughts, especially if I'm a heel
Mhm.
versus being a face. Like it takes like a lot of energy, but it actually really doesn't. What it does, especially to stay in that type of like
Mhm.
mindset the whole time instead of going out and being like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. I know. I know. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Now,
oh,
I do want to say, with your powerlifting and stuff and all, yeah, you don't have strength. You have what we in the country here call strength. You got strength. That's what you got. Yeah. You
I used
don't
to
have
throw
strength.
hay
You got strength.
barrels.
That's right. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I
So I
leg
do got
pressed my truck the one time it fell off the jack. I had a Trailblazer. I had to leg press it to get it back
what?
on the jack. I got friends that were there to witness that. I was at Turning Stone Casino one time. No video to
Oh,
prove it. Oh, so
oh man. See, if I ever did that, I'd never stop talking about it. That'd be like I'm like, man, you know what I did? Feats of strength right here. These are some feats of strength I did. So I do got to ask. I was doing a little research and stuff. I did get to see. You're a cat lover or whatever. Animal lover. So, how are your cats doing and stuff? And are they wild cats? Because I actually have a neighbor. Their cat in the morning when they leave for work or whatever, he'll leave the house and come over here and hang out all day. Just chilling, and then leave. When it's dinner time or whatever. And I swear. They come over, they're like, "Is he okay? Is he okay?" Oh yeah, he's fine. He just hangs out with my dogs. Because I got three beagles. They'll go out, chase them or whatever. And, he has fun. So.
my brother
So
has
how
a
are your
beagle.
cats?
That's funny. My
Oh
cats are
yeah.
good. They're not wild. Actually, I had their mother at one time, but she's no longer with us. She died of old age. But she had a litter that had them, and they're brother and sister. So I I love them. I was just looking for them. I said I've been out here for almost an hour, and they haven't been out here. And I was like, they're usually already out here. They're probably gonna come out. But they're about 11 years old. They're Balamese, Siamese cats. They're definitely mixed with something else, but they're definitely stronger gene is through the father that mated with their mother. Because the mother cat I had was like an Egyptian long haired cat. It was like it's so crazy to get into like really like different types of cats if you really are interested in felines. But they're my babies. They're my fur babies. I love them. Like they bring out the soft side of me, and like
That's
everybody
right.
says that. Um, and they just know like right now. I think because I had the vacuum going earlier, and then they hear me talking really loud. They're like, "Oh, she's doing something. We're just gonna go over here." But I love cats. That's great. And you said you had beagles? Like my brother
Yeah, I
has
got
a
three
beagle.
beagles. Yeah, I got three of them. Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't been running around, sounding like a thundering herd yet. Sometimes, we'll sit here, I'm talking, I'm trying to ignore it, and they're like, "Arr, brrr, brrr," and you're like, oh, Lord.
Uh,
They're all
animals,
good.
they're
They're all good.
awesome.
Yeah. Now my sister, she has cats. Like if she's ever like, she's like, taking a trip like I don't know, Arizona or whatever. She'll ask me to watch her cats, and they never come out for me or whatever. They're so like, like they'll hide, and I'm out, I'll feed them, do the litter box, all that good
I'll go
stuff.
grab them.
Yeah, I'll sit there. Yeah, I'll sit there, hang out. I even offer them treats and stuff. And she's just like, "Oh my God, they didn't do it." I'm like, "No, no, they don't do that."
I
They're
got
like,
them. I got them.
"Uh-oh."
I got them. Because everybody loves the cat. I
Yeah,
know we'll get more viewers. They come
yeah,
for
there you
him.
go. That's right. I like that. That's an awesome looking cat. Yeah, I like that cat. Yeah, that's an awesome looking cat.
That's the boy, right?
Yeah, the female's sleeping. I'm not even gonna mess with her. She's kind of like a witch sometimes.
He looks like a
Mm.
ladies' man. You might want to watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like cats. Yeah, you pet them and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be calm and cool and stuff." Where you're petting them, then 5 seconds later, you're like, "I can't hold my rage anymore. I'm about to snap," and then "Arr!"
It's funny because anytime I yell, this cat runs. So like think about it like in wrestling term when I scream, this cat runs. Like I don't yell like that at home.
Mhm.
That I remember. I mean, I don't yell like that. Well, you know what? I yelled like that when I actually like hit like I hit a manhole like a couple weeks ago that didn't have a cone
Ooh,
on it in
ooh,
like where I live, and it cracked my oil pan. I've never screamed so many swear words in my life so loud, like I was projectiling like vomit, like it was like bad.
mm.
But my car did not get totaled, so I'm really grateful for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad for that. Like you said, I'm hoping you have a good year. 2023, good year or whatever. Because this year, I actually went to an Orioles game and I seen a UFO, and it sent me a message in bright yellow letters, told me I was going to have a good year. But I was like, man, they lied to me. This is a terrible year this year. So I'm like, man. But I'm
I
hoping
thought the
they
same
pass it on to
thing.
you.
Thanks. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going day by day. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it good. You know,
That's right.
you
That's what
only
I
got
do.
one life. Like really, like at the end of the day, regardless of what you're fighting at home and what you're dealing with, like what I deal with every time I actually crash, like I think about it, I'm like, well, who the hell's gonna pick you back up? Who the hell's gonna do this for you? What are you gonna do to fix it? And coming from where I came from when I was younger, after my mom got sick and passed away, I never thought I was gonna be this positive person, like in my head. I deal with my own shit every day. Um, but who doesn't? Like you
Yeah.
deal with it, you figure it out. Like life's ticking, like you get older, like you know, everything's changing. You have memories to make, experiences to go through, and live it up. Like seriously, like there's no time to waste. I believe that.
Yeah. My bad. My internet was a little haywire, going in and out. You know. My bad.
No, sorry.
My bad. So I do got to ask, you got some new merch coming out, you know what I mean? So, what's up with that? How can, anybody watching, wants some Courageous Christina Marie merch, if they want to look, awesome, they want to look fabulous, they want to look courageous,
You
what can
mean
they do for
you
that?
want to be a part of Team Courageous?
There you
Because I
go.
think
Yeah.
you want to be a part of Team Courageous. I actually don't
Hmm.
have them with me. I have my buddy Benny making them actually right now because we came up with it like this week, and I was like, yo, I need to get these shirts pushed out because like ever since I got fired and then I got
Mm,
rehired, people are
mm,
all on the Team Courageous page, like with CCW and stuff like that, like which we know I didn't deserve to be fired. That's absolute bullshit. So
yeah, I
like I
know.
didn't. What do you mean? She put her hair like whatever. I don't need to
I
explain
know.
myself.
I know. I was there. It was volatile. It was volatile backstage. I was like, woo! All right, I'm staying over here in my corner. You know what I mean? Woo! I ain't messing with that. It was kind of like those cartoons, Bugs Bunny cartoons, like, everybody got a little smoke thing, smoke circles.
Yeah, no, like nope, like what? Like got fired and then now I'm now I'm rehired. So
There you go.
it's like Team Courageous. I'm gonna literally like that's gonna go everywhere. I'm telling you.
That's right.
Team Courageous.
That's right. I'm gonna definitely grab a shirt next time you come around there. I'm gonna grab one. I might even if you have a black one, I'll wear it under my ref shirt. Just in case it rips, I'm like, well, I guess I'm Team Courageous right now.
Oh my
Just let
God,
it
that would
roll.
big top. That would be great. You know what I mean? Just rip it off. Like literally as I go to like almost hit you, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go like it's
They're like, please,
uh,
like, no, no. Here we go. Oh man. So I
let
gotta
me tell
ask,
you.
we got Christmas coming up and stuff. Are you getting ready for Christmas? Have you gotten a list for Santa or anything, or are you just gonna wing it and
I
play it
got
by ear?
I got an Amazon wish list, but no, I don't
There you
have like
go.
I'm just gonna play it by ear. I'm grateful for everything that I have this year.
Hmm.
Quite frankly, coming from where I was last year and the year before. So I'm just grateful to have a roof over my head at this point. I'm grateful for the people that are in my life that have been great to me and what this year is gonna bring, my father's gonna always give me something, but like right now, like it looks like the red rocket outside, my car. It looks like
Hmm.
she wants like Christmas to be all about her, quite frankly. So like my other tire now has a slow leak and I just can't
Oh,
win. I can't
oh
win. Like
no.
this car is like a pain in the butt right now. So it's like whatever. So I'm like thinking honestly, I think for Christmas, if it works out to play, I might end up getting a second vehicle.
Ooh,
I'm
word
ready
up.
to get a second vehicle. Like I don't want to trade that in because I can always switch out the motor because
Hmm.
it's an SI and stuff like that. But I'm all about like going fast and getting speeding tickets. Hello, you're not
Ooh.
supposed to be up there. Oh,
Don't worry,
but yeah.
I'll keep an eye just in case she tries to pounce on you. I'm like, oh, hold on, she look like she's about to snap.
He's so funny. But yeah, I think I want to get like a winter vehicle because like I might trade that in down the road and get more of a like summer sport car like and that stuff.
Hmm.
But like I want more of like an SUV. Uh, I don't know. I gotta see how it goes. I might get a car. I might get a different vehicle. That's like something for myself that I want to do.
There you go. Yeah, because I was gonna say, you don't have like a Tahoe or anything, SUV, because aren't you like kind of upstate New York or whatever, like
Yeah.
you get a lot of snow and all that, crazy stuff up there.
I used to have a Trailblazer until I hit a deer back in 2016, right when I was starting to
Mm.
wrestle. Then I had red hair, black, red gimmick, when I was wrestling. So I thought it was smart to get a red and black car to match me. And then it was standard. And not only was it standard, it's an, SI, so VTEC. And then I just thought I wanted to be cool like everyone else and just brep. You know what I mean? I made my speeding ticket. I've almost lost my license from the speeding tickets and stuff, but everybody in this neighborhood knows who I am now. Just kind of
There you go.
I just don't accelerate past the speed limit. Like I just get up to the speed limit and stop. But I drive this car now and it's so low and it's been through so much. I bought it at 108,000 miles about 6, 7 years ago, and she's at almost like 260.
Mm. Okay.
All wrestling highway miles, pretty much. So
That's right. Yeah, I drive an old Honda. I got one because I was like, man, let me just get something. I wanted something at first, like, let me just get the, point A, point B, and I'll get something else. But I fell in love with it. I'm like, yeah, this thing's awesome. It's great on gas, and, it's like, yeah, I
you
just
can't be mad.
put a couple parts on there, you know what I mean? It's going to run forever, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's see how long I can keep this. So now it's a
That's
game. Like, I want to see if I can keep it for like 10
so
years
you're
or
on the
see what.
game too. Like
Yeah.
I got I got my sponsor Daniel Park. I got everybody that jokes on me about getting rid of this damn thing. Like even my boss at my job, he's like, "This car this car doesn't like you." I was like, "No, she likes me because she would have just blew up."
There you
So,
go. Knock on wood. Yeah,
but I definitely want to get a new vehicle. So that's definitely something I want to do.
that's cool. That's cool. Now I did want to ask. When I was doing research and stuff, I seen a shirt that you were wearing. It was cool, so I had to ask. It was like straight out of cookies. So I gotta ask. Are you big on the cookies? And what's your favorite cookie? And are you gonna be baking cookies this year for Christmas?
I actually was just about to buy cookies while I was at Price Chopper.
Ooh. Oh.
I love chocolate chip, like chocolate chunk, like
Hmm.
especially if they're soft chocolate chip cookies. I love sugar cookies.
Ooh.
um, I had beneath was it the I had a raisin one today. My job brings in a whole bunch of snacks, and I'm just I have no self control. So and then like my coworker Shannon, she like brings in like candy and puts it in this drawer. So every time I walk a patient out, I grab a chocolate. It's so bad. But
Oh man.
chocolate chip, like right now, actually, a fan of mine named Phil bought me this. This is under my tree right now. It's
Oh
literally a
snap! That is
Reese
awesome. Yeah, that
shut
is
up.
awesome. I like that.
And I'm literally like gonna do it. That's him right there.
That's an awesome thing, man. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so like it's under my tree. It looks so cute because it's just sitting there. So when you were talking about cookies, I was like a Reese cookie. Like I like all
Ooh.
cookies. Like give me them all. You know, that's
Oh,
great.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, if my mom makes some cookies or whatever, what I mean, has some holiday cookies left over or whatever, I'll bring some to the show and I'll be like, there you go. I
Definitely,
know.
I'll be there next month.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to keep it on the. I have to keep it kind of hidden because you know how those people are back there. What I mean, start with their grubby hands, just stealing everything. But hey, I mean, at
Oh, I
least they
know.
won. Like, dang, 'cause I'll be sitting there. I know Carl's in her heart. He'd be like, "Oh man, you got me some present." I'm like, "No, man, no, 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 no. I see you on training and stuff. No, I see you every day. No, go away. I ain't getting you a cookies."
I love them.
So,
Cookies are great.
so before I, pass it on to Remy, I do got to ask, are there any new movies and TV shows you're watching? Because I personally, I get caught watching the same thing over and over, like comfort shows. I'm always trying to find something new, So,
Honestly, I rarely watch TV. Like if I really don't have time. Like I actually just been trying to sit here and try to start following things. Other than that, I watch matches. Like if I actually watch
hmm,
the television, or say if I'm laying in bed just really not doing anything, I actually just started watching a couple movies. Um, but I just kind of scroll, and I spend so
hmm.
much time scrolling that I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I turn the thing off. I feel like an old timer. So, but like I haven't been watching anything recently. I actually am dying to watch Jingle All the Way again. It's like one of my favorite Christmas
Yes.
movies.
Me too. Yeah, I love
I
that.
love
Yes, that Arnold Holiday classic. I love
it.
watching that movie.
Yes.
Yes. It's
I
one of my
laugh so
favorites too.
hard every time.
Yes. Oh, so do I. And I'll mention that to people, and they'll be like, "Really, you like that?" You know, I'm like, "Oh my, it is hilarious." You know, what I mean, it's like the greatest.
Especially with the ball with the Turbo Man, like the little kid that goes.
Hmm. Yep.
Oh.
I'm like, plus
You
it's
got to
got
think about
Sinbad in
it.
there as a mailman.
The reason why we like it is think about it. The ending, like on the float, like the zip
Hmm.
tie with the bad
Hmm.
guy and the good guy. It's a wrestling
Hmm.
match. Watch it
That's
when you
right.
watch it this time. Watch it. It's really it's all like a wrestling match. Boom.
Hmm.
I was like, oh my god, this is what happens when you become a professional wrestler. Oh my
That's right.
god. But
That's right. Honestly, I went to I was at Universal in Florida for the Halloween haunted houses things. I went down there with my sister, because we're into the Halloween haunted house things, watching it. And they would do like Born Identity stuff, and I was sitting here, I'm like, look at these punches here, man. Like, he should come to the school or something, you know what I mean? We make that
go
look a
back
little
to
better. Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, damn it, no. Let me just.
it's
Yeah, I know how it is. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm definitely watching that. Yeah, I gotta watch Home Alone 1 and 2, but I only like the last half hour where he beats the burglars up. You know what I mean? Like, those are
I
my
like
favorite
Marv.
parts.
Marv's my favorite character.
Yeah, I love
Marv.
that part. I love when he starts screaming where he puts the tarantula right on his face and he's just like, "Ah!"
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. So
Spiders.
anyway, that's right. So anyway, before I pass it on back to Remy, I want to say, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us. I definitely had a blast. It was fun to have you on. I can't wait to, see you go around kicking butt all over the United States. Hopefully, you're going out conquering the world, grabbing gold everywhere you go and stuff. And I wish you nothing but all the positive things that happen to you and your family and all that good stuff.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Christina, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to just shoot the breeze about your wrestling career and whatnot. Not man, now y'all talking about cookies. I'm feeling kind of. I might go out to the nearby store and get me some cookies myself too. I don't know. I'm feeling for some chocolate
I
chip.
know.
But
Ah,
thanks a lot for doing this for us. We really and truly appreciate you being on our radar for a long time.
of
And
course.
eventually you're gonna get that CCW championship. I could definitely see it, and I'll definitely be cheering when actually you get that you get that win and whatnot. But before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out your next appearances, purchase Christina Marie merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
My social media accounts, I have Twitter, it's Courageous CM. Instagram is Miss excuse me, Christina Marie. Facebook's Courageous Christina Marie. You can email me at strongmariex at gmail.com. Excuse me. Um, and that's pretty much where you can get a hold of me, mostly the emails. The quickest way I can respond to somebody, especially instead of through social media, is emails if bookers want to reach out to me as well. So, but and my I have a YouTube page. It's Christina Marie. I post usually most of my updated matches that are allowed to be aired and seen. So
Awesome. So y'all make sure y'all follow this woman. She's definitely doing a lot of great things, and we can definitely see a lot of great things for her in the very near future. Very near future. Strong Marie X. I gotta. That sounds like that sounds like a name of a move. Well, I think you're onto something with that. Strong Marie X. I could definitely
it
see it.
reminds me of like the old screen names, like back then when we used to write screen names up. See, yeah, he understood. Like I was like this. Anytime I tell somebody that they're like X, I'm like, because I thought about doing X Tina for a name a long time ago, but I kind of like took it back because I could always change that as like a second term of a name.
It could
X
al-
Tina.
it could always be an alter ego. You can always do alter ego, but
Never know.
I could definitely see the commentators going, "Uh oh, she might be going for it. Oh, it's Strong Marie X. It's a wrap. And one, two,
That's great.
three. It's elementary. New winner, Christina Marie. I could definitely see that being a thing. Trust me, it has a ring to it. Don't let it go. You're onto something with that.
I'll take your advice. I'll definitely think about that. That actually is creative.
You're onto something with that. Trust me. It make sure you copyright that and keep it. It's you're onto something. But make sure you
Thank
follow.
you.
She's doing a lot of incredible things. Purchase the merchandise. If you can't make the shows that she's on, that's another way you can actually support is purchasing the merchandise that she brings out as well too. And that way, whenever she gets signed by AEW and WWE, and people are like, "Hey, we got the new Christina Marie shirt from WWEshop.com or AEW Shop," you can be like, "Yeah, but I got the one from before she got signed. So who's the real fan?" Ah, there you go.
I
So
got a Teesprings for my merch. I forgot to include that with my information. I apologize. So I have a link in my bio on my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter to my link tree that has all my information for anybody that's curious. So check it out. It's really
well, with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order. But before I indulge in those activities, Raw Base, the Sean Spencer to my Burton Guster, the Riggs to my Murtaugh, and the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next appearances, purchase Raw Base merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_base82, and then Facebook, Rob Base. And then next show, I think CCW, 1CW, January 14th. I don't know any of the matchups yet. But yeah, our guest down here, she's definitely going to be there kicking butt, tearing the house down. So yeah,
I
definitely
don't know who
check
my
that
next
out.
victim
So
is.
yeah, I don't know who's going to draw the short straw on that one. You know what I mean? But we'll definitely find out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so 1CW, CCW, y'all definitely make sure if you're in Houston, Delaware, or any of the surrounding areas, head on over there. You got two shows for the price of one. You see a lot of great, competitors, a lot of future superstars. So definitely check it out as well. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll hear me say something cool. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. Our podcast is on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, um, Instagram, Twitter at Ringside Society. Still don't know why we're on Hive, but we're on Hive at Ringside Society if that's your thing. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society. You'll find us there. We're on Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise like T-shirts, tank tops. We also have hoodies and T-shirts for hoodies and long sleeve shirts for the cold weather, and we also have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So definitely check us out. Cop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. Trust me. I'm still eating Kool-Aid sandwiches, and Rob's still eating hamburger helper. So please, we definitely need it. But with that being said, we just want. Oh, I always forget to do this one. We also have a YouTube channel, yes, where we have cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with CCW owner Marcello, Kylan King, Vita Von Star, the Renegade Twins, the Goons of Scenic City, and several other great, people as well. Check out our YouTube channel. Just go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet, handsome, dark blue and light blue yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the very near future, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should listen to. So those of you that are going to listen when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those are the haters can't stand us. Really and truly wish you'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. With that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the courageous one. Christina Marie, who's going to take not just the country, but the world by storm.
By storm, you
Woo!
hear that?
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside.
Wrestling.
And we'll be back later on this week with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Del.